Welcome to episode 2 of An African's Queen. Today I have with me Divinegift Afolabi, who is the epitome as a young Nigerian of perseverance. He is the co-founder of HealthGo Technologies and, along with his team, passionate about providing all Nigerians with the highest level of security through blockchain technology for their healthcare data. Welcome to An African's Queen, my podcast, Divinegift Afolabi. How are you this morning?
It's a pleasure. I'm doing great, and it's the weekend, so we're just taking the day off, trying to rest and get things done.
Nice. Well, certainly as a young entrepreneur in Nigeria, with your first startup, if I'm not mistaken, HealthGo Technologies. No? It's not your first?
Yeah. No, it's not the first, but it's still the sustainable one.
So it's called HealthGo Technologies, yes?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and how you came to start what you're doing.
Okay, so basically my entrepreneurship journey started very rough, and I'm not precise of where we actually want to go to. But I started off from the fashion industry, creating solutions for individuals who want to get underwears, affordable and quality one in Nigeria. Then from the fashion space, I then migrated into tech, where I founded Prince Africa first. That was late 2019, early 2020. And few others came in the line before the journey of HealthGo Technologies started earlier this year. By February 2022, I decided to create a solution in the healthcare space, healthcare industry, leveraging blockchain technology. It hasn't been really smooth, but it has been an interesting adventure to go through. So yeah, that is it. Thank you.
How did you get into technology? What got you into developing platforms and programs?
Okay. Coming into technology, I came into the tech space early 2019, as I said, with Prince Africa. And what really brought me in was providing a solution for Nigerians who actually has a mobile phone, but they actually don't know how to make money from their mobile phone. Most people use their mobile phone for illegal, legal stuff. But with Prince Africa, I was able to nurture and mentor about 220 individuals on how to use your phone to do freelancing jobs, graphics design, content creation, get jobs on Fiverr, Upworks, and stuff like that. And that was actually what brought me into tech. So late 2020 / early 2021, I got into the blockchain space, where I started trading crypto, trading ETF, trading meme tokens, and I also started teaching people the same thing. Then I think it was around August 2021. Yeah, August 2021. Then I stopped trading. Then I started learning development, how to develop solutions on the blockchain space. I worked with few blockchain companies, VFi, BrownPay, before I decided to set out and start up HealthGo, which is a health tech company leveraging blockchain. So I came in basically to create solutions to individuals using mobile device, and now I am the one creating the solutions myself. So that is it.
Amazing. You've referred a few times to Prince Africa. What is this? Is it a program? Is it an entrepreneurial program?
Okay. So Prince Africa is basically my first startup, where we have different arms in the company. So we have the freelancing arms that help train individuals who want to become freelancers on graphics design, content creation. Then we show them how to make these skills viable by getting works on Upwork, Fiverr, and few other freelancing platform like Paper Hour and many more. So we also have the mentoring part, where we organize personal and professional growth mentorship All these were done for free. It wasn't a paid organization then. It was 100% free. We did Prince Africa ran for about a year plus. We had few coordinators in Cameroon, Ghana, and a few Cotonou, that is Benin Republic. We had few coordinators there who handled online boot camps on personal growth, occupational growth, professional growth, and also train people on how to get jobs as a freelancer. So that was what Prince Africa was about. We had a book session where we sell ebooks, sell audiobooks, just to make them know that their phone can do a lot of things from them, apart from just doing the wrong thing on the internet.
And that's amazing that you are leading young Nigerians in the direction towards more technology and using their skills to better the country. Where do you think that's come from for you? Is it part of your upbringing? How did it come to be that you even got to think about these things? Were you educated in a form of technology? What's that background? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
Okay, basically, my upbringing was kind of very rough. But talking about the background, let me talk about educational background now. I studied accounting basically. So I'm an accounting graduate, basically, a diploma graduate in accounting. So what I'm doing now is actually not directly coming from my educational background, but I think it's just coming from personal development. What I feel I need to grow at, what I feel I need to do to develop people around me, what I feel I need to do to develop the country at large. So, and globally, yeah. So I feel it's not coming from my personal background or my educational background, but just coming from how I wish to grow, my personal development, the test I have to grow personally. So that was where everything came from, because it wasn't easy then, spending money, trying to learn. And at that point, I was even being, castigated, and a lot of people said a lot of things that, I'm becoming lazy to leave the fashion industry, coming into the tech space. I don't want to work. I don't want to do this. But I knew the stress I was going through, because I'll be the one to sacrifice money to learn. You know how mobile data is costly in Nigeria. We get mobile data, we learn, stay up all night, sleep 3 hours a day, just to, grow. So I think everything just came from the test of personal development and not from any form of backgrounds.
But just that degree of willingness to push yourself hard and to push yourself in ways that you don't have experience. Potentially, did you have access to coaches and mentors, or did you have to figure this all out by yourself?
Basically, when I came in, I had access to few Ogbonna and Emmanuel. So they are the first two individuals that they took me up, they sat me, we haven't really seen physically. Okay, it was just like my relationship to you. Most of our mentorship discussion was on LinkedIn. So most of those connection, because then I was part of Student Business Club of FUTO, that's the university in Nigeria. So they both saw the potential, and they both kept on making me keep pushing. Even when I get down, they keep calling me and say, you just have to keep doing this. Building is not something you can do a day. It's not something you can do overnight. It takes years, it takes time. So you need to give yourself that time to grow, So there wasn't really a direct mentor. Like I already say, I don't really have a direct mentor. Most of the people I look up to, I just get to read about them on LinkedIn, get to read about their newsletter, get to read about their growth story, and just keep me motivated to do more. So there's no personal mentor. Apart from now that I feel I'm now getting too close to some mentors like Franklin Peters. I'm getting really close. We have time where we meet physically, we discuss challenges, we discuss what to do to overcome the challenges and stuff. So then there wasn't really mentorship per se, but I would say these two guys, Ogbonna and Emmanuel, they stood by me through, and they made me know that I would scale through. So that's just it.
Well, certainly congratulations and kudos to your perseverance. And I think that it is testament to your character that you are such a hardworking person. I think it's sad to think that people would comment that because you left the fashion industry to go into technology, that makes you lazy, because quite the opposite is clearly evident. You have worked very, very hard. Tell us a little bit more about HealthGo and the services it offers. I think it's an amazing opportunity. And as you answer, help me understand how you've integrated blockchain to that solution, because I don't think I understand enough about blockchain to know what your solution provides.
Okay. So basically HealthGo is a Nigerian USA registered health tech startup. So what we basically do, we provide 360 all-round healthcare services ranging from telehealth to health education to emergency services. And most of it is we offer EMR, that is electronic management record. So we offer management of health reports, um, personal health records, hospital health records, pharmacy invoice, and the biggest of all this we're doing is we offer data management. So when we talk about how we leverage blockchain or how we are implementing this on the blockchain, we are using the blockchain to make every individual has a right over their own health record. We have a lot of researchers, international bodies who come to this part of Africa, especially in Nigeria, to get health reports to host research and stuff in other countries. But the truth is, me as an individual, I don't know who is buying my record. I don't know who has my health reports. I don't know who is in charge of this. So I want to be in charge of my record. I want to be the one to say, okay, I want to give out my report to the United Nations to host the research, or the SAM Center to hold the research. And through this, I can monetize my reports. A lot of our health records are being sold without our consent. And these bodies in charge of this whole system make a huge lot of money from these reports. They make in millions of dollars out of these reports. But I, that has the reports, are making definitely nothing from it. So to curb this is why we are bringing the blockchain in. I want to be in charge with a private decentralized blockchain. I can give access to, okay, I want to sell my reports, or I want to give my reports statements to this body for a certain amount of token, just a reward token that makes me know I am in charge of my report. If I wish not to give it out to anybody, then my reports remain private. But when I wish to give it out to people, I make it public on the blockchain. It can be accessed by anybody, but anyone who access it asks to remit some amount of rewards to me for using my reports as a research or as anything. So this is basically where we're bringing the blockchain in. And apart from this, it is also going to be a tool for the international body to have accurate information about the health status of Nigerians in Nigeria, because we would be able to implement this in hospitals, a diagnosis center, where every individuals have access, have the ability to upload their reports on this blockchain, giving an accurate health status of Nigerians via this blockchain. So the UN doesn't have to assume, 99% of the Nigerians has malaria. No, with this blockchain system, the UN would actually get accurate data, because everyone's data are on the blockchain and it is encrypted and secured and safe. So it can't be exploited, it can't be deleted, it's going to be a perma web. I don't know if you know of perma web. So it's going to be a perma web system where every individual can update their health record on this blockchain system. And apart from that, also, one of the reasons we are implementing the blockchain is to enhance our payment system. Though the payment system, I would say, it is not a challenge in most countries. But let me give you an instance. I need to be probably let me say someone has to go to India to get a healthcare services. Nigeria to Indian payments counterparty might delay the surgery or the operation of these individuals, which might lead to the deaths of the individuals. But with the blockchain system, we can easily pay via stable coins or reliable cryptocurrencies that makes payments easier, and it reflects automatically to the counterparty over there in Indian banks very easily. So other things are also in place that makes us look at implementing blockchain, which one of it also includes emergency services, which I just talked about. An instance of an individual not having any of his health record with him, or going to another part of the world where he has none of his Nigerian health record with him. In case of accidents or in case of victim of uncertainty, they can easily access his record on the blockchain to know, oh, this is his blood group, oh, this is the drugs he is allergic to, these are the stuffs his body are not. So, these things actually enhance, it makes it very easy to access individuals' health record and access quick healthcare services. So HealthGo, in a summary, it's a 360 global portal for general healthcare assistance, leveraging artificial intelligence for telehealth and leveraging blockchain for data keeping. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow, Divinegift, it's such an incredible, powerful tool. I can't imagine that. I can certainly, let me be mindful here. So I can appreciate the challenge that you would have rolling this out, because you are shaking the very core of the healthcare systems that make an exorbitant amount of money from individual Nigerians' information. And as we, the Western world, I would say more so than what I understand in Nigeria, is that there is more and more advancement towards privacy of individuals' details. Certainly with the advent of GDPR, and certainly that increasing the privacy and security in Australia, that then is rolling over, and I can see where your solution is a very good solution. However, I have to ask you, how are you getting around that challenge of the fact that people are making a lot of money? How are you going with convincing people who do store data, for example, hospitals and clinics, to put it back onto the individual? What is the pitch for you? Is it for the individuals to control their data, and how do they then relinquish it from the hospitals and the clinics?
Okay. Basically, for hospitals and clinics, the pitch is kind of different. I would say most hospitals, wouldn't embrace this, because this is where most of them really get their bunch from. But this is also what we're doing, which is, while it is a 50-50 stake for both the hospitals and the individuals. Hospitals actually face a lot of challenges when it comes to them managing their health records, their patient health records. Most of them still do paperwork, which isn't really okay for them, or isn't convenient for them to keep every record of every patient. So we are giving them the electronic management record for each hospital to use as a tool to keep their patient's record. So this automatically, they are not seeing it as them giving authority back to the individual. They are seeing it as them using it as a tool to keep their patient's record. I don't know if you get that space. So they are seeing it as a tool to make efficient data record keeping for their patients, while we are seeing it as a tool for every patient to be able to access their records, even without getting to go to the hospitals all the time. So these are the two lines of pitch. For hospitals, it is as a tool to keep each patient's data record, making it convenient for them to access it anywhere, anytime. In case of patient transfer, they easily get the records. While for the individuals, it is just for them to like, guys, your records are here. The hospitals are the one doing the inputting. You are the one doing the storage. So it's aligned with each other's.
Good. That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges then that you are presently looking to overcome? Certainly the point of this interview isn't just to meet you and talk about your business, but also know that there are people in our audiences and our networks that can learn and support. So with that in mind, what are some of the questions that remain unanswered and or challenges that need solutions that you're coming across?
Okay. The basic truth is there are a lot of challenges. But consistency make us roll through many of them. The major of it is this is Nigeria, and government policies really tackle a lot of these innovations, a lot of these technologies, and that alone is a setback itself. But we have been able to maneuver a lot of policies and follow through what the government wants, and we have been able to set our technology in the right space and the right line to roll up activities. But for now, some of the unanswered question is I basically have a team of 22. Yeah, we are 22 in total. My co-founder is a health practitioner, so I'm the tech guy here. She's the health person. So we roll up ideas together, and yeah, we're good to go. So one of the major challenges we are currently facing is funding to really push this idea, because building the tech itself, because I think for now we've been able to spend about 20 to 40. I think we've been able to spend about $40,000 as I'm speaking now. And our product isn't still the way we want it to be. We've been doing a lot of back and front, getting everything in place, and it's a good one though, because I would say I really, really enjoyed the journey so far for the past 10 months. Is it 10 or 11 months? For the past 11 months, yeah. For the past 11 months, I enjoyed the whole journey. But, getting funding is kind of very crazy. But the truth is, we have reached out to a lot of people. A lot of people have said, fine, it's a good idea, but they are not, ready to fund such huge idea at the moment and such like that. But we know with time, we'll get the right investors who will be interested in what we're doing and buy into the vision, and not just the monetary value of it. Though I know every investor also wants the money. They want times 2, times 3 of their investment, but still, they need to get into the vision first before the money can roll out. So that's also been said. One of the other challenges we're currently facing is getting international body to certify our educational platform. So what the educational platform actually does is we offer healthcare related courses, aligned healthcare related courses, occupational healthcare, first aid healthcare courses. I think we have about 6. We have occupational health, we have life, we have first aid, we have life on fire, we have caregiver courses, we have maternity healthcare courses, and what's the last one, for God's sake? So basically, a lot of things are rolling on the head. So basically, we need internet. We're in touch with the British Council a few months back. That is SFCDC of the British Council, to see how they can come on board to provide certification for these courses. So individuals that take these courses can get probably a 3-month diploma certificate or a certificate of participation backed by an international body. But a lot of them has been, the costing is too much. ICDP was asking us to pay about €500, £500, or £1,000. I think it's between 500 to £1,000, and that is too much for us. We don't have the money anywhere. So we need government bodies or international institutions in the healthcare space, probably health management space, that can come on board, partner with us to roll out these courses. We have tutors already, certified nurses, registered nurses in Nigeria that are ready to give us these courses. So we need them to back up these courses so it can be reliable and visible in the market. And apart from that, we need partnership with international healthcare practitioners that can really come on board to offer one or two to us, get us on the right track, basically. Give us, it might not be basically them coming on the team, because I reached out to a lot of them on LinkedIn trying to see how they can come on board as our advisors to give us the right path to throw these solutions. But we haven't really been getting good response from them. But yeah, it's fine. It's part of the journey. We need to get that to keep our motivation high. So, I think those are basically the challenges we need. For the team, there's something I do tell people. I have the best team on earth. I have the best team on earth. Right from our medics to the tech guys, to the community management, to the customer relationship. I have the best guys on board. I am so proud of them. It's not really easy building out of nothing. It's not easy, but these guys have been there. We've been doing a lot of shoveling of teams though, but those that are on board currently, the 22 guys I have on board, they are the best guys on earth. I'm very proud of them, because it's not easy building out of nothing, building out of not knowing what the market really asks for them, but they treat themselves open into dedicating their time, their funds, their knowledge, their tech, everything into the projects. And yeah, that's a big one for every one of us. That's a big win. There's a saying, if you have the best team, there's nothing you cannot do. Everything is achievable. You just have to call yourself together, get dedicated, and you roll up things like miracle. You understand? So yeah, that's just the challenges we're facing at the moment. Thank you.
So what you've just explained to us in terms of the challenges speaks highly to just the sheer amount of perseverance that I think I've identified in the Nigerians that I've met, but also in the startup culture as well. What do you think it is about Nigeria and technology and this perseverance? Why do you think Nigerians are so hardworking?
Well, I would say it's in the culture, the way we were raised, but I wouldn't really say it's, yeah, fine. All Nigerians are actually, not all, but let me say majority are very, very hardworking and stuff. And, we just like keeping pushing forward. And I think it's just for the culture. Everyone were brought up the hard way. So we just have to keep getting hard to get what we want. So that's just it.
Yeah, it certainly rings true to my experiences when I was there and the people that I met. So certainly as an entrepreneur, it can be really hard to keep your mental health as a priority, and making sure that you do remain connected with people. And one of the things I've observed, and potentially you can speak to this or maybe help me understand, because I don't know enough to understand what's happening, but I see this disparity between Nigerians or entrepreneurs in general, but experiencing challenges, mental health issues, but it not being a public discourse and not being something that can be spoken about, yet it's something that I think we all experience.
Yeah,
do you see it being spoken about openly in Nigeria, or is it like Australia and it's not really talked about?
Well, it's the same thing here in Nigeria also. A lot of entrepreneurs really go through mental health issues. And, most people really don't. Someone like me, I really don't know how to open up. When I'm down, I just want to be alone. I just want to be myself, get some music into my head, try to know what is really causing this whole depression level, and try to figure out a solution around it. But most people really don't know. There was this same topic was discussed, I think, a few weeks ago on the stakeholders for blockchain association in Nigeria. And you know, a lot of people were like, how do I cope through? You know, and somebody in the group said, I have a girlfriend, so whenever I'm down, I know who to run to. I was like, no, 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 no. It's not about this. You know, the first thing to actually notice what really do cause this whole mental stress and stuff. And you know, what I discovered personally about myself is when I'm not being able to balance things, like balance my life situation together, I get really down. What do I mean? Okay, I'm a business person. I give like almost all my time chunk into business. I don't have time for the family. I don't have time for my girlfriend. I don't give attention to people around me. When all this comes together, it's surely going to make you depressed, because the business world wouldn't give you positive vibes all through. There are sometimes you'll be very happy. Oh, we just got a partnership. That's a good thing. But there are times you get some rejections from investors and you'll be like, you know, you just get down, you just get low. But when you know how to balance this whole thing up with your normal life, you make the business world, your entrepreneurship world included into your normal life. You wouldn't really get that mental stress as it tends to be. So these things are not being discussed because most people feel when you're coming into the whole business world, you just need to back up from everything else in the world. Yeah, I also went through that. I also did that. And I think I got too used to it that I love being alone, as the point may be now. I love just being on myself. I can be on my phone. I can hold meeting for the whole day. I can keep doing research for the whole day without even calling anybody, without even living where I am. That has gotten into me. That has become a part of my culture. So now it's now left for me to now know how to balance this up with my normal life, interacting with people, interacting with friends, you know, going around with your family, trying to get, whenever the business gives you some bad vibes, you know who to run to. So those are actually what has been keeping me through. And the truth is that mental health issues won't be discussed publicly by business owner, because that point really makes them feel weak. It makes them feel like they are not competent enough to go through the journey. But the truth is, being mentally down is part of the journey. It is part of the journey. You have to go through it to succeed, because business is not bed of roses. You go through some loopholes and you'll be like, oh, I never expect this to come. So it's now left for us now to balance. If you know music makes you happy, include that into your normal life. Whenever you go down in the business world, run to what makes you come back to life, what keeps you motivated. If it takes for you to take a month, 2 months, a week, 2 weeks off the whole business stuff, just take it off. You rejuvenate with new ideas, then come back and you come back with full energy. So that's just it.
Powerful advice there. Thank you. And I think that the theme of that rings true to my own work. You know, part of the reason that business leaders come to me is because they're not coping, or their team aren't exactly thriving because of this leader's not coping, and they aren't capable, they don't have the words to express what it is they're feeling. A lot of people confuse the work that I do with just purely emotional intelligence. It's not. That's the banner, but underneath that is our emotional well-being, our emotional health. And that is that's the PC version of saying depression, mental health, because it's easier to talk about publicly our emotional well-being and let it be in a more acceptable term than talking about depression, which nobody wants to read about or hear about. Because we want to put those blinkers on and we want to ignore that these things, they happen to other people, but they don't. So that ebb and flow of entrepreneurialism or even just employment is really common. And you're right, we absolutely have to talk about it more often. And I wish that I had more and more leaders coming to me saying, I'm not coping. What are some tools? What are some resources? What can I do? And I'm going to walk you through it because it isn't actually difficult. It just needs clear, concise steps, accountability, someone to be there for you, as you said. And I don't, to the point of when you said before that your colleague or someone said they go to their girlfriend, yes, it's fantastic to go to someone you love for support. But if they are not in the same space of entrepreneurialism, they're not going to get the mindset challenges
of what
that you're going through. And when you are working with a coach or you're working with a mentor, you have somebody who knows what it feels like. And I think that I struggle to talk to my family about what I go through because I know they don't get it. They don't really get it.
They're not in the same space with you.
Yeah. And so I think that that's an important thing to clarify. While it's great to lean on family, it's better to be in association with someone who gets you, who knows where you're at. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily have to hire a coach. You know, it's just having that network of people around you who know the pain and have felt the pain before and understand that the emotional ups and downs that come with being an entrepreneur. So it's interesting to see how it comes up for you. So thank you so much for sharing and being open to that conversation and inviting people to do the same, because the more we talk about it, the less of a stigma this thing called depression
we get from it.
Brilliant.
That's true.
So we're coming full circle to the end of our conversation almost, but I'm curious, what advice do you have for me, given that I know so very little about business in Nigeria? And I mean, you know, I think well enough from my posts of what I'm aspiring to do. Clarify if that's not correct, but moving my family, my husband, who's, as you know, Yoruba. But what's interesting for me is that obviously with my work, I plan to be located probably most likely in Lagos City, or there is some talk about Abuja. But what do I need to know? What do you think would be helpful for me to understand about relocating my family to your country?
Basically, like you said, you've been here before, so you know Nigeria is actually a very good place, especially when it comes to tourism. So it's kind of tedious because you know, even we in the country, even for the dedication we have to what we are building, most builders, most entrepreneurs tend to leave the country immediately. You know, they get their feet set in the space. But looking at what you want to do, I would say you actually don't really need to consider setting up, like, because what you're doing is being an emotional coach really gives you the freedom to do whatever you want to do online. Setting up a virtual space where you can connect with these employees, entrepreneurs, firms, and you know, do one of all these things. And you know, there's a guy also who I think does more of this emotional coaching stuff that moves from offices to offices, you know, create some kind of general meeting, train the general staffs from the MD down to everyone on the team. So I feel this is more of what you're doing. So you might have a physical office probably in Lagos. Just one is enough to cut the expenditure of, you know, operation in probably Lagos and Abuja. Abuja is a good place too, but I feel Lagos is actually more where the tension is. Abuja is for big men, the politician, those one, their mind is already set. They barely have depression. But when you come to Lagos, the depression is there because you have to wake up 3 o'clock to meet the boss that will take you to the office. You get to the office by 9 o'clock, your boss starts telling you you are late, you get query number 1, query number 2. So I think Lagos is actually where the major work has to be done. So You can set it up in Ikeja Axis. That's also a good place, or probably on the island if you want to feel. When it comes to security now, when you want to feel like you want to be very secure, yeah, you can move to the island. That is still very preferable. And you can now set up a virtual space where you connect with these entrepreneurs, their HR management, company CEOs, executive. I know one or two things you don't, you just let them know. You can even offer a physical consultation service to them where you go to the office, you get it done, and stuff like that. So what you're doing is actually amazing. So trust me, it's a good one.
Well, thank you. I must confess, I do have a client now who is Nigerian and is in Nigeria. So it's proving that I can
Yeah.
actually work from Australia with businesses that are there, which is
Yeah.
brilliant, and I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think your advice is quite sound. My business has predominantly been virtual since it started. So it's nice to know that that can continue, but I definitely love the in-person training and workshops. I miss it a lot. Since COVID, I haven't run a workshop in person, and I would love
Okay.
to do a lot more of that. So that's great advice. Thank you. Let's
Yeah, you can get a simple up probably in the Ikeja axis. There are some in Ikeja, Ikpaja, Apapa, Ogba axis. So yeah, those places are still around Ikeja. So you can get some tech hubs around there, probably rented, or you can just rent it anytime you want to hold a physical meetup and stuff like that. Or you can just rent it permanently per year. You can do stuff like
Yeah,
that, then you're good to go.
sounds great. That's good advice. All right. Well, completely different topic then. If you were to, when we get there, what is one place that you love going there and you would love to take me, my kids, my husband there? What's somewhere you'd love and you'd love us to go?
Uh, I think as I said during the interview, I said for me basically a in-house person. I barely go out.
Yes,
I
but
barely
now I'm
go out.
challenging you. What's your favorite place? It could be just your local restaurant, but what's your favorite place and why?
To be sincere, I don't have a favorite place, but I think I'll take you to Balugo Market.
Why?
There you'll be able to see the real life of entrepreneurs, how they all do their German, and then you can get stuff from there. I'll take you to a few of the retailers we supply our fashion wares to. You might, have one or two discussion with them, try to learn from them. Yeah, I think that's where the real also is basically. So, there are sometimes we say when we want to do the menus, we have to roll up our sleeve and we go into the streets, we do the real work. So yeah, I think that's still because I don't really go out. I don't go to cinemas. I barely go out basically. Like in a week, I might just step out a day. I might just step out
Well,
a day. I barely go out. So
there
that's
you
just
go.
it.
Now I am going to set the challenge for you. Between now and when I arrive, you better have somewhere
Okay.
favorite to go that you can show me and my
Sure. All
family
right.
your part
All right
of
then.
Nigeria. How does that sound?
All right. I'll work on that then. I'll work on that.
That sounds fantastic. Well, do you have any questions for me? Given the length of time we've known each other, is there anything that you'd like to know? And maybe I can help you understand more about what I do or what
Okay.
I'm about.
Basically, I'm a kind of person that I don't really like to know too much. I don't really like to know too much from start. I just believe when we flow through, you get to know me better, I get to know you better, and stuff like that. But since you raised the question, let me see. Let me see. Okay, I think what I really want to add here, because I think this sentiment has really been in a lot of people, a lot of countries, a lot of Western individuals, and I personally have encountered that. I think May this year or around May June, where I was actually in touch with, I think, a German or somebody. They own a blockchain, and we were actually asking them for fundraising and stuff. And we actually delivered everything they asked us to do. So it got to the point where they were asking us to go through KYC, trying to know us better. And then I submitted all my documents, and their manager then saw that I was a Nigerian, and he told me, "Sorry, we don't give funding to Nigerians," and he blocked me off. Then I was like, "Oh wow," just like that. And I would like to know, you're based in Australia. Is there any form of racism to Nigerians in Australia, or even if there is it very rampant? Or from your own personal knowledge, what do you feel? Should this be like the old Nigerian, fraudulent act coined around all Nigerians? Is it right? And in Australia, how do you guys really see this?
That's a big question, and I will answer it the best I can with my knowledge and experience. The question is there racism in Australia towards Nigerians?
Yeah, towards Nigerians, yeah.
Okay. In every country, there is racism. It's unfortunate and it's unavoidable because people are different, and there are some people who just don't accept people who look different to them. Now, specific to Nigerians, my experience is that there is not blatant racism. It's not blatant. It's not out there. It's not exposed. And it's not necessarily just Nigeria. Australia is a very complicated country for its multiculturalism. And I will say that most Australians are open-hearted and loving and welcoming. However, like every country, there are Australians that don't accept others. Okay. Now, when it comes to Nigeria and Nigerians, unfortunately, it's not a racism, it is a stereotype that Nigerians have had lingering over them for a long time about being scammers. One of the things I identified when I was there is that because Nigerians are so entrepreneurial, that and you alluded to this earlier, where Nigerians will use technology illegally.
Yeah.
Now, the sheer hardships of your upbringing, what you have to do to survive, often leads some Nigerians to do the entrepreneurial making of money illegally. And unfortunately, internationally, Nigerians have a very bad reputation when it comes to finances and technology. And whilst I can see how Nigeria is becoming a burgeoning technological hub, places like the alt school that are educating in technology, it's a fantastic thing. And yet the challenge with countries is that overcoming the stigma and the stereotype that Nigerians are scammers. We have in Australia, and I heard of it also when I was in the US, that the Nigerian prince is a common story of when someone will write an email, and the email we get is, "Oh, I'm a Nigerian prince, this, and this, and this, we'll give you money." all you need to give us is your bank account details. But that stigma is what holds Nigerians back. Part of the reason why this podcast is so incredibly important and why I want to talk to famous and not so famous Nigerians is to change the dialogue around
who
Nigerians are, how entrepreneurial they are, how incredibly hardworking they are, and how they are not the label that they have been stigmatized with for decades. And it actually makes me quite angry, because there are so many good, incredibly talented men and women like yourself who are not given an opportunity to grow because of this history.
Stereotype,
And when it comes to money, I mean, I remember when I was there, I couldn't access my bank at home without using a VPN. And it got so bad that I couldn't even access certain websites while I was there. I had to use a VPN the whole time because they saw that my IP had changed to Nigeria and they wouldn't let me access the website at all. And that kind of shit's got to stop. But it can't until the amount of scamming that's going on
is being reduced.
Right.
Yeah.
And so once your government gets its shit together and stops stealing from its people and actually uses its money to better the people's life so they don't have to be scammers to survive, you have a way to start. It's something I'm quite passionate about because it makes me angry that with the millions and millions of people there, if the opportunity is presented, you will have a phenomenal country, a powerhouse country.
The better one,
Because the hard work is there. The energy is there. The resiliency is there. The perseverance is there. The intelligence is there.
Yeah.
What's not there is the money.
Money, that's true.
So I really feel sorry that this opportunity has happened to you, but I think that you need to have that as your first question. Whenever you seek funding outside your country, let the first question be, is the fact that I'm Nigerian, based in Nigeria, going to cause a problem?
And
solve that first. Otherwise, it's a waste of everybody's time. And I really hope that you can go back to the German that ended up turning you down and say, how can I prove otherwise? How can I prove financial security and we're not a fraud? How can I prove it to you? How can we change the stigma? Because I think it's
we actually
really
did that then, because
everybody
we tried our best. We mailed them, trying to like, hey guys, if we were to be one of these guys, we wouldn't send all our information, all my documents, my NIN, my house address, BVN, everything was being submitted. So I think that's the best way I can kind of prove that, hey, this is who I am. This is just me. So if you want to trace me, it's my house address and stuff. So, it's just the whole stigma of, the manager then was now kind of giving me some illustrations of two Nigerians that came to them very early and they got about 100K each. One got 120K, one got 100K, and, they just left and, they couldn't really trace them. They couldn't really do it. I was like, bro, we're different and stuff, but,
well,
those
and
two that came
that's the
first
challenge.
had already, that is just what happened.
Yeah. Look, I don't think it's racism. I think it's ignorance, but I also think it's because of the fact that the infrastructure isn't there to support you to succeed. And in that regard, your government has some work to do to change the international perception of your country.
Of Nigerians, yeah.
I really desperately hope that happens sooner rather than later. And I hope that conversations like this one push it even further.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I really appreciate
Oh,
that.
you're most welcome. This has been an incredible conversation, and we've gone in so many different ways, and I've actually learned quite a lot from you, things that I didn't even know anything about. So that's always a successful conversation. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Divine Gift, what a beautiful name, but what a beautiful
Yeah.
conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to see you in Nigeria. I'll take you to Olumor Rock and a lot of rocks. Since
Where is it?
your husband is from Ogun State, right? I think you told me he's from Ogun State.
No, he's a Lagos boy.
Wow, Lagos boy. Okay. Don't worry, I'm from Ogun State, so I'll take you to my town, I'll take you to my village.
That'll be amazing. That'll be good.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're most
Bye-bye.
welcome. Take care, and we'll talk again very soon.
All right. Thank
Bye
you very
for
much.
now.